Hey guys, how's it going? tmanplays here with another Warno video for you today, and this is gonna be round two against Warro for the April monthly. And the bands for this game gonna be 3rd Armored, 8th Infantry, and 79th. So, with those bands in mind, we're gonna pick one of our favorites, 7th Panzer, and Warro here gonna pick the 39th. So, previous to round one, you'll see most of our investment on the right hand side, and that's because we want to be extremely aggressive in his back zone of Echo. I am willing to give up some ground in Charlie at the start as long as we can put a lot of pressure in Echo, because that'll allow us to push back Charlie in the late game. Not really sure what he's going to do with Alpha, so we're just going to send a lone T-55 here to protect our road, as well as a little bit more AA in case he does bring some attack choppers our way, as the first helicopter going to be showing up in the middle. Special AF clearer, not going to want to deal with that, so we're going to try and hide those guys in the woods. Do have an MI2 here just to see if he is trying to get into my town, as that way I can reroute some infantry to help deal with that. And just one CV for the start, as we captured Foxtrot first, going to Golf, going to Delta, and then hopefully going to Echo. So not sure if he landed his infantry here or not, but just going to scout with the special AF clearer, as we only have a lone Strela 1 here with some supply and a T-72 to basically hold the middle until reinforcements can arrive. Has all our units on the right slowly pushing up. CV now going to get in Golf, able to capture that, as our opponent here also seems to be starting with one CV. Actually, two CVs. So yeah, he is going to be at a +2 for a while, as it's going to take us quite some time to get to Delta, and we won't have any control over Charlie. So it is going to give him a nice point lead in the early game here. Do spot some infantry here as our Matschützen gets to the front. Bit unfortunate, as now it ruins our element of surprise for our big armor that'll show up. But we at least do catch these off guard. Can help deal with all these Grinzer pretty nicely. But obviously, he knows our push is here now, and he's going to start moving some helicopters towards that area. He does capture the middle as well, puts him at a +5, so I'm immediately going to order another CV to go to the middle. Perhaps could have used more ground units here beforehand in hindsight, but CV is the choice currently, as we don't want a +5 to sit for too long, as I will need time to eventually contest that pretty well. So all our T-72s getting up here now, able to provide good fire support on all the infantry, and our AA should be able to deal with the Mi-8. I did pull back some Matschützen, as I didn't want the rocket helicopter to be able to go after them. And we're now moving up our Mi-2 to scout this area to make sure he can't push anything behind my line. So Strela 10Ms here, going to be able to deal with the rocket heli there. And I'm moving up the other Strela to help deal with the Mi-24K. Do spot a lone Grinzer unit. And our other Strela here, able to start getting some nice shots on and actually take out the Mi-24K there. So now he's blinded for the Su-25 run, which is great. We also have the Cube in the rear. I can start putting shots on that. He is going to be able to take out our Mi-2, but in return, take out the Su-25. So in the middle, he has the T-80 BBK CV. It is going to put a lot of pressure on me here, and I'm going to have to be really careful with how I decide to engage with these T-72s. I'm going to push up the first one just to engage some of the infantry, but since our recon did go down, not able to spot anything anymore. does decide to cross out his RPO in the open though, so able to catch that out from both sides. And we get our CV into the zone here, which is going to lead to a full takeover. And that'll finally give us the first positive tick. So CV coming in, T80 BVK though, going to be able to hit that. And that's just a wasted CV and a wasted 100 points. He also lands his helicopter again. I did move my CV out because I thought I took full control. Didn't see the MI9 at the time. So now he's going to be back on a +3, which is not what we want at this stage in the game. And we're under a lot of pressure in the middle as well. At least able to get a nice hit on the T80 BVK there, but going to have to smoke off our T72 as we don't want to take another hit and go down. So I see all these transports coming up thinking that he's about to unload a bunch of infantry here, which would just be a massive problem. So I'm going to immediately call out a helicopter and some more tanks in the rear. Kind of route these Panzerjäger to maybe get a shot off, but it appears he's just using them as like a scouting force. On this side, still haven't decided to move in my CV yet. Finally have in this back corner, so that should be safe for a while. We're also calling up an attack helicopter to force him to buy AA. As one of our helicopters we called up earlier does arrive, able to kill off these BTRs. And our CV finally gets back in the zone here. Gonna start getting a little more aggressive with these T-72s as I want to push them completely out of the zone as quickly as possible. As all the T-72 is going to be able to deal with the Grenzer nicely. So on the left here, I did buy a TO-55 just to protect this spawn road. Make sure he's not sitting anything behind my line. And some Panzerjäger here to kind of scout through the trees. Make sure he's not getting in this tree line, as I need to hold this basically at all costs. And I'm buying up a T-72 command now. Su-25, gonna be a big problem. Strela 1, gonna thankfully get a hit. Not able to get another hit though, but it appears he's actually being pretty bold with this, and that allows our other Strela 1 here to actually get the kill. So another nice kill on his aircraft. Do have some more infantry that has shown up, but at this point he does have actually a fair amount of tanks and helicopters that's keeping my infantry at bay. So I've got to play a little bit more defensively, and a special AF clearer just clearing these buildings here to make sure he has nothing behind my lines. Panzerjäger gonna at least provide me confidence that nothing is here. And our T-72 are gonna take a big rocket to the face from the Mi-24V there, so gonna have to smoke that off, pull it back, force him to waste his rockets on these SPW-70s. This T-72 there does take a shot to the side. Bit unfortunate as I wasn't paying attention to that. In the middle, pushing up my T-72 a little bit more aggressively, trying to figure out what happened with his command, as I knew it was somewhere in this area, but perhaps he already pulled it back. And we're going to pull back our damaged Mi-24D. So helicopter looking for his CV, as there is a Grenzer behind our line, but able to clear that out. And we'll also be able to deal with the Conquerors pretty easily. So T80B going to be going for our T-72. We did have an engagement there. Pulled back our T-72 before it went down. Trying to finish it with the Panzer Grenadier. Really hoping one of these RPGs hits. Sure enough, they go to each side of the T-80 BV, and that's going to be a dead Panzer Grenadier. Or Panzerjäger, I guess I should say. So, did move up some AA to help deal with this AT chopper, because I'm trying to get some recon across here now to maybe put some pressure on this side of the objective. Because I need to keep putting pressure here to allow me to more easily contest the middle. as it'll force him to keep pulling investment to this right side. And the longer I can keep a CV in here, once I can test the middle, that'll allow me a nice tick. So moving up the Strela 10M there, hoping to take out the MI-24V. It is a fully elite Strela, being in range of the command here, which is really nice as it allows pretty much all of its missiles to hit, but a random T-62, I believe, is able to, or actually a T-80BV is able to take out our Strela. So we only have one left, and the Coop here. So gotta be really careful with our AA now. As you'll see, I'm not investing anymore here because I still do have a good force, and I don't want to keep investing in something that's not working. Clearly, this isn't working right now, so that's why you'll see all my attention now going for the middle, and it's basically more defensive here now, just holding this area as long as possible, just to be a thorn in his side, as our T-72 Führer finally gets in, and we're actually able to fully take over the middle. So since we can test this area too, that puts us at a nice +5, and that's gonna allow us to start ticking up points really quickly. Special Afcutter able to spot all these armor units, lets me know kind of what he has in this area. Just trying to take out some of his BTRs with my T-72 here, as we miss 2 shots. Very unfortunate, and then get side-shotted by the T-80BV that we couldn't see. So our push here will definitely die soon, as he is getting pretty aggressive with his armor. Miss a side shot there on his T-80BV. That would have been extremely nice to help delay this counterattack even longer. So T-72 is just not hitting for me at the moment. And the T-80BVs definitely are hitting, as we even miss another shot there, and the other T-80BV takes us out. So only have one T-72 left. Gonna have to rely on our infantry in case he decides to push these tanks in close. But now, at this point, we've amassed quite a force in the middle, and you'll see we're starting to exploit all the open ground here, as it appears most of his force is kind of trapped in this area, which is what I wanted. So trying to pull back some supply just to save that, as I feel like he is going to start pushing me out of this area pretty soon. And in the middle, starting to scout these tree lines with infantry so that we can get really aggressive with all the T-72s here. Special Afcutter doing one last recon assessment of what he has. Sure enough, we see like 3 T-80BVs, a bunch of these BMP-3s, and some AA. So we know he has a considerable investment on the right here. This T-72 going to be doing T-72 things and missing again. Haven't had a T-72 hit in quite a while. Finally hits a BMP-3 there in the rear and destroys it. But now in range of these T-80BVs, gonna at least redeem itself, get another hit there, but we'll go down. And now it's just about holding this CV in the zone for as long as possible until he pushes us out. See, I am retreating some units now, scouting the middle with my helicopters, as we want to take as much ground as possible because we are still down 200 points, and if he gets a CV in here, we will still not be in a good position, as our hold on the right has now completely fallen. Also buying up a motorized off-clearer and a Conkers just to provide some defense to our city here, as we don't want to just leave the zone wide open with all of his points here that can just push down into here. So I do have to worry about this area now and put some investment into it. But you'll see the force in the middle is just continuing to grow. Have a healthy amount of T-72s now spread around in different areas, and pulling up the AA as we see the helicopters are coming up. So just going to be sending these units to the edge of the objective, as we're almost within 100 points of Warno. On the left, still very defensive with few units. And our AA was able to make it out alive. Did lose the supply there on the road, though. So, seeing his BMP3s coming down here and all his tanks here, I assume at this point he's probably deciding where he wants to go. And I feel like he's going to try and contest the middle again. So we're just going to try and get to the outer edge with our T-72s and keep him out of here as long as possible. I am using the Mi-2 to scout ahead in Bravo here, just in case I want to get really aggressive with my T-72 and push that up. As you'll see, I already have a quick hunt order queued to get that into his back zone. And sure enough, there's already some BTRs here. After having a really hard time trying to unload there, finally does unload, but our Conqueror's already goes down. Offclair at least able to destroy the other BTRs there. As our T-72 gonna try to destroy this BMP-2. Does get a nice hit there. And the Mi-9 coming to the right. So gonna buy a AT plane here to deal with this Mi-24K, as I know we'll be able to get a good gun run on that. And most of his AA is on this right side, so I can just attack here, hopefully peel off to the left, and hopefully he doesn't really have anything here. As I'm going to scout a little bit further with my Mi-2. Did pull off my T-72 for now until we're able to deal with this helicopter. AT plane. Going to come in, though. Do some really nice damage there. Unfortunately, I do evac it right over the AA. But thankfully, it is able to actually survive. So T-72 on a move order now to get to the objective as quickly as possible. As I do stop it briefly, see it's just Superi RPO, decide to move that back to a quick move order. Unfortunately for me, though, there were some Motorstrelki hiding just a little bit further up the hill, and I took my attention away, and he was able to destroy my command before I could get into the zone. So, a bit unfortunate, but we do have the lead now. A nice 200-point lead, about halfway through the game at this point. And with this T-72, I'm trying to just maybe hit a T-80BV in the side as he's pushing aggressively. As we're just trying to get the right engagement here. T-72 keeps having to adjust where it wants to hit, though. It doesn't even get a hit and goes down. The Mi-9 here lands somewhere in this corner, I believe. Able to capture the objective for him. Forces me to buy another T-55 leader, as at this point, I only have 2 tank CVs left. This being one of them. So I got to be really careful with how I'm using my CVs now. I believe I actually still have 2 more after this one. I have 1 more of these T-55 AM2s and 1 more T-72 leader, I believe. As we currently don't have a CV in the middle, so if he does manage to sneak a command back in here, that would put him at a really nice tick again. So Panzerjäger's able to catch out some of his infantry here. Unfortunately, this one not able to get shots on these T-80BVs. Headed just a little too far. Needed to really pull that back a little more, as then it would have been able to take out the BMP-3. T-72 here gets the first shot on the T-80BV. Does a nice bit of damage. Is able to at least take out one of them. By this point, though, he does get the recon up, and he's able to 2-tap that. Some AA going down. T-80Bs now in a really good spot, having to pull back on my AA. And another Strela there, gonna go down. Panzerjäger trying to sneak kill one of these T-80BVs. Unfortunately, does not get the kill and goes down. And, well, what happened to our big force here. Well, it's kind of disappeared from all the T-80 BVs attacking us. So have a healthy amount of stuff here, as I thought he was just gonna push his force to my right. I was wrong though, as it appears his main counterattack is in the middle. And we at least have some T-72 T-72s coming back in to help us engage. So you'll see now, gonna decide to scout with my MI2 behind his line, kind of see what he has over here in case I do want to push here, as I feel like I will actually start losing in the middle here just because of my lack of forces. And he just seems to have an endless supply at this point. So at least able to get our command back in the right, puts us back at a +3. Any type of tick at this moment is very nice, as it appears he's able to contest the middle again, and that'll stop the ticks for both parties. So special AFClever kind of decided to pull these guys back because we don't want the T-80Bs to just keep engaging that. Strella's going to be able to destroy a helicopter there. Going to pull him back for resupply, and our 3 T-72Ms are just kind of moving forward, as since we do have the recon here, I feel comfortable with being able to spot stuff and have my T-72Ms engage them pretty comfortably, since there are 3 versus whatever he throws at us. But seeing these Motoshokis coming, we're going to decide to pull those back. On this side, didn't spot anything in the rear with our MI2, so pulling that back up to the front to see what kind of defense he has. Sure enough, just a Motoshoki, a BMP2, and what appears to be a BTR. So that leads me to believe that this flank is pretty open, and I'm going to decide to push here next, as we just want to keep the pressure off the middle. So putting my T-72s in more defensive positions, moving up some Panzerjäger with a Pioneer Flam, as we unload those just in time. And he does get a CV in here to contest. I did call up another tank leader. So we have a nice 362-point lead at this point. 17 minutes left in the game though, and we're not in the best position in the middle, as he does have a lot of these T-80Bs, BVs up, which will easily be able to deal with T-72s. So any type of T-80BV we can kill will be very good for us. And we see some infantry now approaching from our right, which is going to eventually be a problem for our armor that's sitting in this tree line. So I'm going to go ahead and pull back our weaker T-72 in hopes of repairing that. Going to move some recon here in case he does have more infantry that we can spot, as at least our Flamer and our Panzerjägers are doing a nice job clearing out this area. Those will be a pain for him to try and push out, and I want the same type of combination on this side so that we can just basically control the forest areas, force him to use his armor across the open. I do see the random missile here going for my T-72M, so gonna have to pull this guy back, as it's maybe the next missile I see. There we go, we do finally spot it. Gonna smoke him off first and then pull that guy back. In my 24D, even though it's extremely weak, I really need it to help defend some of the infantry that's pushing me here. So it's able to at least clean up a lot of these Motoshoki that are pushing. It does finally run out of rockets, but the main gun still do a lot of damage. And you'll see I got the Flamer and the Panzerjäger now coming here, so that we can just kind of take some more of this area back. On the left side, you'll see have a lot of TO-55s coming up. Did have to call out another MI2, and we spot the Resveka Saperi here, so that explains what came in the BTR. So the T-55 just going to be helping to push those back, and I'm hiding my units behind these little buildings for now. So T-72 is here, trying to destroy some of these units across the open. Gonna have to smoke them off those. We don't want them going down. Do have the supply right here though, so that we can repair those pretty quickly. And I'm trying to sneak a Panzerjäger around his line. Gonna start using some smoke with my mortar so that any type of engagement, he has to come to us. And since I don't have recon here, I don't want anything to sneak and get a shot off without me being able to see it. So that's why I'm using the smoke now. See the Mi-9 trying to be sneaky, capture my back zone here. So I will call out my SU AT here just to gun that down. So we are having a pretty big engagement with this T-80BV. He is going to smoke off and repair that though, as our AT plane is going to destroy this Mi-9, just trying to cause me some more pain in my back line. So by this point, we do have kind of good control over this forest again. Our T-72s are doing a good job at holding all of this back. The smoke here really helping keeping these T-80BVs at bay. And you'll see I'm just pulling them back when they're getting low in hopes of keeping them repaired. As the smoke is just going to continue to drop. So on this side, you'll see I now have some helicopters coming up. All my reinforcements now going to this zone. And as soon as my TO-55s get close to my infantry, we're going to decide to push those guys up. T-72 here, trying to destroy the BMP-3. We'll get the kill. And we're now looking a lot better in the middle. So now that I have the smoke here, I can more comfortably push across these Panzerjägers. But unfortunately, right as they show up, the smoke actually disappears. And that's going to allow him to get caught out in the open pretty easily. He does have a good infantry defense here as well. So on the left side now, the big push happening, as helicopters should be able to easily deal with all the infantry here. Also have the Flamers and the Pioneer combo going to be moving in. And our recon helicopters just scouting anything that he has, which is nothing now at this point. So gonna rush up our transports as far as possible. And we've also called in a CV and some AA support to help with that big MLRS strike here. Trying to go for my command. We'll get a pretty nice hit there, as T-72 having a bad day versus these BVs are able to at least get another BV with our T-72 in there though. Really worried about my command, as this is the last command that I actually have, so really need to keep this guy alive, as that would have been a big deal if this went down, because then I wouldn't have been able to actually capture this zone unless I wanted to capture it and then reroute it to the middle, which would have probably been what would have happened. So really nice that we keep this alive, and gonna move back some supply to heal that back up as quickly as possible. Did lose all our infantry in this area, but our T-72s trying to hold back these T-62s and T-80BVs. We are getting a little low on numbers though, as he still does have a good force here, but as you see, have basically full control of the left. TO-55 just kind of spreading out in different areas. So I am comfortable now that I can capture this pretty effectively. Don't need to spend any more points here. Now all my points need to go to defending the middle, as some really important engagements are happening. Run out of smoke, gonna be able to get caught out, and that's gonna be another T-72 going down. Do have some infantry showing up. They're originally gonna push here, but since he is starting to really push me back now, we're gonna have to change our minds and go really defensive with the mod shoots in there. So just gonna unload those guys here, help protect our CV, and buying a cluster plane now to maybe help take out some of his really heavy armor that's causing me issues. Do lose another T-72. Gotta be able to smoke off his T-80BV. And we see a T80BV uh, potentially coming to start attacking this area, but I do have a healthy amount of stuff here, so not too worried about that. Cluster here, going to be trying to destroy that before it can repair. Able to get the kill. And now I'm going to start routing some helicopters, as I feel like he doesn't really have any AA to support his push. So one of our helicopters from the left side here going to be rerouting, and we're able to get our T-72 command now in this zone. And you'll see I'm potentially feeling like he doesn't have a lot of stuff here, so I'm just going to charge ahead with my TO-55 and my recon helicopter and clear a path for my command to keep moving into his top zone, as that'll also alleviate a lot of pressure in the middle. We are at a nice +4 though, and with 9 minutes left in the game, this is a very good spot to be in. Also knowing that he doesn't really have any AA, I'm going to buy another cluster plane, deal with this other T-80BV here, as our TO-55 finds Estrella 10M in the north. And you'll see our helicopter here doing a really nice job dealing with all these BMP-2s and BMP-3s. Cluster plane coming in for his other heavy tank. Able to get a really nice uncontested drop, and that's another T-80BV destroyed. So T-72 is doing a really nice job just dealing with anything that tries to cross over the open. Our SPW-70 is providing a really nice idea of what he's going to use to push me back here. And since we hadn't seen anything up until this point, I hadn't even bothered to reinforce this area. And our T-72 command getting really close to being able to contest the north. Panzerjäger here, going to be really good in close range versus the T-80BV. Going to move up my recon just a little bit, pull these guys back, as now I really want to concentrate on what this guy's doing. Make sure he doesn't really get caught out. Sure enough, almost losing to a side shot there. We are able to completely take this though, and that's going to put us at a further +8. Even if the MLRS takes us out here now, we are in a very comfortable lead. And that's going to cause Warno to surrender. So pretty good on the trades here. We just go through the kills and losses. T-72 is obviously going to be performing pretty well. This one able to kill 280BVs, which is always nice. Helicopter getting the command there. T-72, obviously just carrying the weight. This one able to get a T-80BV as well. Same with the T-72M, as they just helped clean up all that armor. Helicopter here doing a nice job as we called it down from the left to the middle. And that's going to be the end of it. So won both games of the series. So good week 1 for me. And I will see y'all for the week 2 games. So hope y'all enjoyed, and see you in the next one. Later.